Hey everyone, welcome back to another TxePrep Introduction Algebra video. And in today's video, we'll be talking about fractions. Well, not exactly the 3 divided by 4 plus 4/5 kind of fraction, but something similar along that way with variables inside the fractions. So let's just start by a really simple application. What if I had 2x divided by 4x? So we both know by the quotient rule that the x's would cancel out, and 2 divided by 4 is simply just 1/2. So this would be 1/2. Okay, simple enough. But now let's try applying some of the factoring and distributive property techniques into this. So let's say that I had a fraction that looks something like 3x minus 6 divided by 4x minus 8. So immediately, there isn't really anything that we could do to solve it, and we can't go like, so divide the x's and divide the 6 and the 8, because remember there's a minus sign, so we can't do that. So what we're actually going to do is factor this out. So when we factor this out, on the numerator, we find that the greatest common divisor for both of these terms is 3, because 3 goes into 3x and 3 goes into 6. So 3x divided by 3 is simply just x, and 6 divided by 3 is simply just 2. So it's going to be 3 times x minus 2. And if you want to check that by distributing it, it turns out that's what the original expression is. And on the bottom, we apply the same principle. So what we do here is we divide both sides by 4, because 4 is the greatest common divisor of both of these terms over here. So 4x divided by 4 is simply just x, and 8 divided by 4 is simply just 2. So it's going to be 4 times x minus 2. And we notice something here, that the x minus 2 and the x minus 2 here are common. That means they're in both the numerator and the denominator. And since these two are multiplying the 3x x minus 2, we can just simply cancel this out. And thus, our final answer for this is going to be 3/4. So, simple enough, but now let's try something else. Let's make it a bit bigger and more complex. So, now I'm going to do something like 3x squared plus 9 x plus 4 divided by 5x squared plus 3x plus 3. So immediately, it's not really clear here what to do. So we're going to try finding the lowest common divisor between all the different terms and see what happens. And the lowest common divisor for the numerator is simply just 1. And if any of these have a lowest common divisor of 1, we know that we can't simplify it any further. And even on the bottom, the lowest common divisor here is simply just 1, so we can't really simplify this. So I hope you guys understood how to apply distributing and factoring into fractions. And in the next video, we'll cover a more complex problem that involves combining two fractions together.